Welcome to the Care for Kupuna podcast, where we dive into health, wellness, and vibrant living of our cherished kupunas. We are thrilled to take you on a journey exploring everything from health and wellness tips, deeply rooted in the spirit of Hawaii, to navigating the intricacies of retirement, preserving our rich culture heritage, and fostering vibrant communities for our elders.
Whether you're a kupuna yourself, a family member, a dedicated caregiver, or simply someone passionate about supporting and uplifting our elders, this podcast is for you. Each episode is crafted with love and the intention to inspire, inform, and celebrate the golden years. So sit back, relax, and join us on this meaningful journey as we care for our kupuna. Aloha, and thank you for listening to this week's Care for Kupuna, where we care for our kupuna. I'm Trina.
And I'm Lani.
And we are your Kupuna Care Girls. Today I have a pleasure of introducing Patrick Donnelly from Hawaii Public Health Institute. Patrick, will you introduce yourself and explain your role that you play at the organization?
Yeah, absolutely. Aloha again, everybody. Patrick Donnelly. I'm the statewide Oral Health Coalition manager for Hawaii Public Health Institute. And really the Hawai'i Oral Health Coalition, or HOHC, is a statewide network of community members and a lot of other invested stakeholders from various sectors. One of our 6 current working groups is dedicated specifically to increasing oral health education, resources, and access for our kupuna in Hawaii, and especially those in our vulnerable communities. So thank you so much for having me on today.
Of course, yeah. And thank you for joining us. I know we work with a lot of seniors, and dental is one of the main things that they want as part of their, coverage when they look at health insurance and stuff. So Patrick, what inspired you to start, with your position, or something that you want to share about, how you interact with the kupuna community?
Oh, sure. And I'll keep it relatively short. I feel like I could talk about this all day. Prior to my current role with Hi-Fi, I served as a health specialist for a whole early Head Start and Head Start program on Hawaii Island. And, part of that involves working with children and families and staff to maintain and improve our health outcomes, make sure folks are going to the dentist, going to the doctor and whatnot. And so over the years, despite all the progress that we'd made in a lot of other areas of healthcare, oral health was just this persistent challenge. And here it is, so important and critical to not just early learning and development for children, but really to overall health across the lifespan, right? And so I worked with a lot of staff and families directly, and sort of through that, I really began to form a more full understanding of the individual and the structural barriers to optimal oral health. And it really just got me fixated on this issue. I think it tapped into my own experience a little bit growing up, having limited oral health resources. Rural Graham, Washington is where I grew up. And, it wasn't something that was prioritized as much as it could be in my family. So my whole life just had a terrible experience with going to the dentist or just having, with my teeth. So I know firsthand that physical and emotional cost, and I mean, even the financial cost of it. And from then on, I was sort of all in on doing whatever I could to work on oral health in our communities. I have a public health background. I really just thought that through this experience, I wanted to do more for more people, right? I always think if I can prevent just even one person from feeling the way that I did for so long, then I'll do whatever it takes to do that, And so then I had gotten involved with the coalition sort of on the side through my other work, and things open up and the clouds part and let in some sunshine. And then that's where I found myself here, sort of keeping this effort going and growing and expanding.
Awesome. And we can tell from your voice that you really love what you do. What are some of the tips that you want to share with our listeners today?
Oh, yeah. So, just tips. The main thing I would say, and again, because I had gone through this sort of transformation on my own, take control of your own oral health and try to find some value in it. if you don't have a provider, seek one out. We know that finding a provider is very difficult and challenging, not just geographically, but with all of our other competing demands in life, with the availability of providers just generally, it can be very difficult, and we're facing a lot of long wait lists. So start now, start seeking out a provider if you don't have one. And if you do, make the appointment. That's half the battle right there, is just making the call and seeing the dentist regularly. Of course, I couldn't leave today without mentioning the importance of regular brushing and flossing in home care. I will emphasize flossing. That's something that I think we all sleep on a little bit, myself guilty, right? But I think that's going to be really critical in getting those hard to reach places, often turning into more painful places, and also preventing gum disease, which, if we leave it untreated, can really be harmful and problematic in terms of your systemic health. So I'll focus on those two.
Patrick, thank you for reminding us. Trina and I, we work with a lot of seniors, and you pointed out two things. One, it was the providers that lack of resources. And it's so important to get that appointment, right? And tips on, brushing and flossing daily. It's so easy to forget to floss because it's so, some seniors, it's hard for them to roll that thing around their finger. But my tip would be, I buy those sticks where you could just slide it down instead of rolling it around your finger, right, Trina? It's so much easier. I feel that seniors would have to just do that.
Yeah, like the brushes, the interproximal brushes.
Yeah,
Those things
they
are
have
awesome.
it at Costco. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go again. We're promoting Costco. Costco, you can.
I do want to just kind of leave a little note too that, I think what happens is we get older, and depending on our family or kind of community environment, we kind of get this sense that losing my teeth, it's just part of the deal, right? It's going to happen, and people start to accept that. And, I just want to encourage folks not to write it off. We know that about 40% of our adults 65 and older in Hawaii have at least one or more missing teeth, whether it's for extraction or other reasons. And it's so important to, again, overall health, our nutrition, the way we communicate. And I think most importantly, smiling, right? We all love to laugh and talk story and enjoy each other's company. And I myself, I've seen friends do this. You hide your teeth when you smile, and that's not fun. You want to let it shine and let it go. So that's all part of it, is just recognizing that. And even if the value is, hey, I just don't want to hide my smile, I want to let it go. I think that's something that's important to feel and value.
Oh, thank you for sharing you're such a valuable resource to the community, Patrick. Thank you for joining us today. And with every episode, we like to end it with a quote, a joke, or a pun. And today we found a joke that was fitting for oral health. How are stars like dentures? Both come out at night. So, on that note,
that's a good one.
So on that note, we would like to thank our listeners for tuning in today. We appreciate you so much. Don't forget to tune in every week for new episodes. And we are Kupuna Care Girls, where aloha meets wisdom, one podcast at a time. Until next week, ahui ho. Thank you, Patrick.
Ahoy ho.
Thank you so much.
Mahalo for joining us on this episode of Care for Kupuna, where we explore health, wellness, and vibrant living for our cherished kupunas. We hope you found inspiration and valuable insights.
Remember, your support can make a difference. 20% of all proceeds from our podcasts go to a nonprofit organization here in Hawaii dedicated to helping seniors in our community. If you'd like to contribute, visit our website at www.carewithak4kupuna.com and make a donation.
Are you a brand or business looking to align with our mission? Consider sponsoring our podcast. Visit our website for more information on sponsorship opportunities.
For those with stories to share, we invite you to be a guest speaker on our podcast. Head over to our website to express your interest and become part of the conversation.
Last but not least, stay connected with us by subscribing to our email list and following us on social media at Care for Kupuna with a K.
Join the Care for Kupuna community to stay updated on all things related to health, culture, and creating vibrant communities for our elders.
We appreciate your time and look forward to welcoming you back on the next episode of Care for Kupuna.